Welcome back to Love and Junk Food. I'm Laura.
I'm John.
And today we're talking about Iowa foods.
So we live in Iowa, and Iowa is in the Midwest of the United States, if you're not familiar. And I think Iowa is predominantly a farming state. A lot of what we grow here is corn and soybeans, and we have a lot of hogs. I think we might be the hog capital of the world.
I think we might be as well. So recently I found this list of Iowa foods and I thought, wouldn't it be fun for us to look at the list and see what of those things we've had and see what things maybe you've had. And if you're watching from somewhere other than the Midwest, you can let us know if you've even heard of any of those things. And if you are watching from the Midwest, you can weigh in on which of these things you like, don't like, whatever. We didn't make up this list. It's from the internet. Where we live in Iowa, we are right on the Iowa-Illinois border, and we live in the Quad Cities. We're actually in Davenport, Iowa, but there's also Bettendorf, Iowa, and then two sister cities on the Illinois side, which makes up the Quad Cities. So it's interesting that we have a city, but really the Quad Cities is much bigger than that, where we live. And all of those cities kind of act and work together as one, I would say. And the Mississippi River runs right between the two states, and it is very much part of our culture and part of our, I don't know, a lot of things are built on the river as far as concerts and festivals and the farmers markets, and there's a lot of parks all up and down both of our states. There's things built along the river. It is the main attraction in town. People that live here love the river. Not everybody goes out on the river in boats or fishes or whatever, but I feel like the river is special to everybody that lives here.
Yeah, I think so.
Kind of how I look at it. There's a couple of big cities in our state. There's Des Moines, there's Cedar Rapids, Davenport. There's Iowa City, which is where the big University of Iowa is. I was born and raised in Davenport, and I love it here. I really do love it here. But I also have such an appreciation for other places, travel, food from other places. But today it's about where we live.
Yeah, and what we eat.
Which I don't think we have tried any of these foods on our channel before. So let us know if you're interested, what of these things you would like to see us try. Well, hopefully we've tried them all. We'll get to it. Number one, I have definitely tried. I feel like everybody that lives in our state has tried. That is corn on the cob.
Yes. Corn on the cob is staple here. We know how to cook it. We know how to eat it. It's delicious. Usually, end of July-ish, kind of, we start seeing stands out on the side of the road and everything where you can go buy fresh corn just picked that morning.
Yeah, it's difficult for us. I'm so spoiled when it comes to corn. I do not eat or appreciate canned corn at all. And maybe I would if I grew up somewhere else, but my parents had a huge garden when I was growing up, and they grew corn, not in the farm kind of way, but in our garden. And they always froze it. So middle of winter, we were still eating fresh, frozen corn. So I don't love it off the cob. I like to cut it off and eat it that way, but Iowa corn, you can't beat it. One of my favorite things.
Yeah.
For sure.
Interestingly enough, a lot of the corn that is grown here is not sweet corn. It's a lot of feed corn and a lot of corn for, other things like corn syrup and stuff like that.
That's right. Number two, Maid-Rites.
Yeah. Now, Maid-Rites are a loose meat sandwich. So they are beef. Like ground beef, and just cooked up, and it's loose meat on a bun, And they're so good. And my favorite are the ones that Laura makes.
We have a Made Right chain, which is all over this area. And if you remember, if any of you watched the show Roseanne, the TV show, do you remember how towards the end they had a loose meat sandwich shop? Well, Tom Arnold, who Roseanne ended up marrying, is from Iowa, and that is what that is based on. We do have Made Rights on our channel. I know we've done a Philly cheesesteak one. I think we've done a regular one. If you're interested, maybe I'll link it or go look it up. We have definitely put that on the channel. That's one of those things. We don't eat it at Made Right a whole lot, but we make Made Rights at home all the time.
Right.
Number 3, pork tenderloin.
Okay. Now, pork tenderloin, you might be thinking, okay, pork tenderloin. We've got pork tenderloin.
Everybody's
but I tell you
got
what, it's very popular in the Midwest, not just Iowa. So, Illinois, Indiana, I think, is known for them, and Nebraska. But when you think of it, this tenderloin is huge.
And also, we don't mean a tenderloin like the strip that you see people cook up. We mean a pork tenderloin sandwich.
Yes, it is flattened, about that big around, about that thick. It's fried, and there's a teeny tiny little bun right in the middle of it.
We'll have to insert a picture. We'll have to.
And a lot of them have, I don't know, people put their own toppings on them and stuff, but usually it's like mustard and onions and I don't know what else. I always just get mine just...
I like breaded. Oh, and by the way, if you go to any stand, any festival, any fair, any carnival, there is a pork tenderloin truck. Guaranteed. Right. And I like the breaded. I really like the unbreaded ones, and I am a light mayo, caramelized onion girl. That's how I like them. But pork tenderloins, love.
Yeah.
Next is something that I have not had since childhood. Maybe we'll have to have it again. Rhubarb pie.
Yeah, I didn't know that was something that was identified, or Iowa identified with rhubarb pie.
Me neither.
I don't think I've ever had it, but I think after having some of the rhubarb things that, from the UK,
I know.
It makes me want to have one. So.
I know. My mom made strawberry and rhubarb pie when I was little, and pie never was my thing when I was a kid. And I remember trying it, and it was tangy and tart, and I was like, no. I've never had it since. So maybe we'll have to give it a try.
Yeah.
Next, this is a know and love, and we invented this, and by we I mean us. No, by we I mean a local pizza chain invented the taco pizza. Happy Joe's Pizza is known to have invented taco pizza. They get it right. It's amazing. A lot of other pizza chains around here try to do it. Happy Joe's is king at taco pizza.
Well, I would differ on that, and I think my favorite taco pizza comes from a gas station. Around here we have Casey's General Store, which is basically a pizza shop that also sells gas, because Casey's has some delicious pizza, and their taco pizza I think is really good.
I don't think it's better than Happy Joe's. I stand on it. I like Casey's pizza, but Happy Joe's taco pizza is just so good. Maybe that's a childhood thing for me though too. Next is Scotchers. Have you heard of Scotchers? My gosh, it's been forever since I've had one, because one of the main ingredients is peanut butter. Mm-hmm. Do you like Scotchers?
I mean, I've had them. They're not my best, or my favorite. I mean,
why don't you tell them what it is?
Okay, I have a definition here. That's what I'm looking up. Scotchers are dessert bars with chocolate, butterscotch, peanut butter, and Rice Krispies. The original recipe was printed on Rice Krispies box in the mid-1960s.
I want to make those with like butterscotch and vanilla chips or something different, and leave out the peanut butter and see how I like them.
Yeah.
Because the texture is really nice. I really like them. Or I'll try with a peanut butter substitute. People always say, do you know they make peanut butter substitute? Yes. And I'm not saying
It's not
that.
the same.
I'm not saying that because you say that, but it's kind of like when you can't have sugar. Well, have you ever tried this? No sugar? Yes. I'm just teasing. But I like Scotchers from what I can remember.
Yeah.
Let us know if you've
Yeah,
had them, heard of
Scotchers are
them. Next is morel mushrooms.
Morel mushrooms are big here, and I tell you what, the season is coming up. There are so many people here that go hunting in the spring. And what I mean by hunting is they go hunting for those mushrooms.
Yeah.
They sell them, probably, people sell them for $40 a pound.
Yeah. And restaurants, you know, they'll contract with people to go out and find them and bring them in and we'll buy them from you. They're amazing. The window of when you can get them is pretty short. That's why they're so
weeks,
that's why they're so valuable. Yeah, they're amazing. We don't hunt morels. I love mushrooms. I think I've said this no less than 100 times. I love them so much, but I don't trust myself to actually go mushroom hunting. I feel like I need somebody who I trust that I know knows morels to go, because that's not something you want to fiddle around with. Am I right?
The other thing is, in the spring, you know, things are thawed when morels start to come up, and you know, things start moving around. And
yeah, and where you find morel mushrooms, it's like ticks, snakes, spiders. Yeah. Okay. Next, Annie Dairy Products.
Annie Dairy Products is based out of Des Moines, Iowa. They have like a big dairy there.
Anderson Erickson.
Yeah, Anderson Erickson. And it's good. I mean, we get Annie products.
We get, cottage cheese, and they have really good dips. And so, yes, we've had that. It's just a line of dairy products. Next is breakfast pizza. And I know that we've mentioned breakfast pizza before in our videos, and I think people thought we were nuts. Breakfast pizza, don't knock it until you've tried it. And speaking of Casey's Pizza, forget about taco. Here's what I'm telling you.
Don't forget about taco.
What I want from Casey's Pizza is breakfast pizza. That is their best pizza. I will fight you. I love breakfast pizza from Casey's.
And I don't argue with that. Casey's breakfast pizza is very good. Go in there in the morning. They'll have that little spinning thing in there, and pick your slice, and it's good.
So breakfast pizza, if you're not familiar, it's pizza like you would imagine, and on the and usually the crust is like super, especially at Casey's, it's super like soft.
Yeah.
And they put
sausage gravy.
Yeah. So people that say that's so gross that you do like
biscuits and gravy.
Yeah. So it's sausage, like morning sausage, and you make gravy from it, like a white gravy from it. That's what goes down first. It's eggs, cheese, ham, bacon, sausage,
they have a bacon
whatever.
and a sausage one.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Give it a try. Next, I don't know that this is an Iowa food. It is on the list though, so we'll talk about it.
Definitely Midwest.
And it's definitely, I think, just from what people have said on our videos, it is definitely more American than other places.
Right.
And that is ranch dressing.
Oh, ranch dressing is sauce of the gods. It's so good. You can dip anything in it.
We really like ranch on a salad. That's our go-to salad dressing.
For sure.
I really like ranch, like French fries in ranch is a thing.
Too.
People put ranch on their pizza.
Yeah, chicken wings.
Chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
Are good with ranch.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we love ranch. We don't put everything. You know, when I say people put ranch on their pizza, I don't. I eat my pizza. Pizza bones, though, are great dipped in ranch.
Yeah.
Next, puppy chow.
Puppy chow.
Which sounds disgusting. This is another thing that I can't eat. It is super popular. If you go to any place where people are selling homemade treats, you see bags of puppy chow.
And basically it is cereal.
Like Chex cereal.
Like Chex cereal, rice Chex, whatever, wheat Chex, I guess. Who knows? But it's mixed up with peanut butter, I know is in it, and then a bunch of powdered sugar or icing sugar. I don't even know what.
And then you like shake the crud out of it, and so all the peanut butter and powdered sugar sticks to the cereal pieces. It's amazing.
Yeah, very good.
Next is turkey legs. Now, you know what's surprising that they say, I mean, you'll see it at any fair, carnival, and whatever. Yes, you'll see turkey legs. But that restaurant turkey leg hut that's all over that you see YouTubers trying, whatever, even though this is on the list, we don't have a turkey leg hut that I know of.
Not that I know of.
In Iowa, so I don't, I might be calling a little BS on that.
A lot of times you get it at fairs or festivals. They'll have the concession that has turkey legs. You can walk around with it. But yeah, I'm not aware of any places that make it.
And do I like a turkey leg? I would probably eat one, but if I'm going to like a fair or a festival, I am getting a pork tenderloin.
Oh yeah.
I'm not getting a turkey leg. For me. What about you?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had one from a fair or whatever. If I didn't roast the turkey and eat the leg.
Same. That's exactly for me too. Next is, let me check. This might be my favorite thing on this list. Maybe. Oh, there's a lot of favorite things on this list. We'll talk about that later. But Iowa pork chops.
Iowa pork chops are thick and big, and they're so good.
Mm-hmm. Super juicy. Put them on the grill. There's nothing better than an Iowa pork chop on the grill with the side of corn on the cob and like a baked potato. Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing.
And that reminds me, Laura had mentioned RAGBRAI, which is that bike ride, and that stands for the Register's Annual Great Bike Ride Across Iowa. And they do it every year, hence the annual. But there's a guy or a group there, they will follow everybody to the next stop, and they make the best Iowa pork chops. It is so good.
Yeah, that's a good one. Next is something I think I've only had once. It's memorable.
Me too.
I don't know why we haven't made it since then. And I don't really I remember liking it at the time, but I don't remember like specifically how it tasted, and it makes me want to make it on the channel. Mm-hmm. It's ham balls.
Ham balls. And both of us, when we were preparing for this video, we started talking about it. And, Laura's like, yeah, I think I've only had them once. And I was like, I think I've only had them once. And we both talked about it being at some sort of luncheon.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people, at least old school, would make these ham balls.
Maybe at like a church function or something like that.
Church function or something like that. And we both mentioned like how good they were.
Mm-hmm. But we've never made them. So
never made them.
I think we're going to try to make them.
I have a description.
You should say what they are.
Yeah. Let's see. Where did it go? Here we go. Ham balls are a classic Midwestern meatball recipe. It's even more specific to Iowa and Nebraska. It's an unusual recipe that turns out so incredibly delicious. Ground beef and ground ham are mixed with graham cracker crumbs and formed...
Which sounds crazy to me.
I know. And formed into meatballs. Then they are baked in a tomato brown sugar glaze.
I do remember there being some sweetness. But
yeah, I remember that sauce on it that was so good.
Yeah, so we'll have to try to make them. But if you are watching this and you've made them, let us know how you make them or any tips and tricks. We're curious. Two more. Blue Bunny ice cream.
Yeah, Blue Bunny ice cream is pretty big here in the States. And in Iowa. And it's pretty good, I think. But
I love Blue Bunny. There are people, like I remember my Aunt Jane exclusively ate Blue Bunny ice cream. Oh. It's super creamy, and some of it has like a real homemade kind of texture and feel and flavor. It's good, but it's just it's a brand of ice cream. Okay, and then last on the list is Sternz's potato chips.
I've had Sternz's potato chips some. They really come off as very, for lack of a better word, very greasy. But they're made in Burlington, Iowa. They're okay. They're pretty good. I
don't know if I've ever had them, and if I did, they didn't leave an impression enough for me to tell you anything about them.
Yeah.
So there you have it. There would be some other things I would add to this list if I were making this list, but I didn't make this list. But definitely things that you always see around. Another thing that people really love about here in the Midwest are a couple of food chains, and we're going to be checking out some of those. We always talk about Whitey's Ice Cream.
Oh my gosh,
Which is the local place we always go to. Boat Cheese Mustard, which is a stone ground mustard people go crazy for around here. So we're going to be maybe visiting some local spots and trying some local foods. But this was kind of a fun list to go through.
Yeah.
I would say, of course, I love the pork chops and the corn on the cob.
Oh yeah.
But of this list, there were 16 things on this list. And if I were to tell you like my top 3 things that maybe you haven't had before, if you don't live here, that I mean, everybody's had like a pork chop before, right? But if you've never had a pork tenderloin sandwich, you should. If you've never tried taco pizza or breakfast pizza, I think you should. Give it a try.
Fried morel mushrooms. Oh, you should.
You should. So yeah, those are kind of my favorites. And Maid-Rites. I definitely like them. They are just kind of like a burger. It's ground beef, and how I make them at home is I cook them, I season them, and then I add some like chicken broth to them. You would think you would add beef, but I don't. I want it to be lighter. I add a little bit of chicken broth. I let it sit with minced onions, and it's super like juicy and flavorful. And then you would just doctor it up however you would like a hamburger.
Yeah. Salt, pepper, yeah.
Yeah, but they do bacon cheese ones. They do, I mean, I don't know. It's a loose meat sandwich. You should give it a try. It's good.
It's good.
What's your favorite things on the list? Anything different than what I said?
Well, you know, like you said, obviously corn on the cob, Iowa pork chops were good. Morel mushrooms, I think, is top on the list for me, and unfortunately, I haven't had them in years.
Same.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with all the stuff that you were saying.
Unfortunately, I do love Scotchers and puppy chow, but I can't eat either of those. So anyway, let us know which of those sound most interesting to you, what you want to see us make or try, or which of those things you've never heard of. I'm so curious. I think that's all we have for today. Come check us out on social media if you haven't already. Let us know in the comments of this video where you're from. We're proudly from Iowa. We respect and love the people from all over the world and foods, you know, from all over the world, but we are happy and proud to be living in Iowa.
That's right.
Say. So if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please consider doing so. We'll put a link to this channel as well as our new channel, as well as our game channel. Put links to that in the comment section of this video. Now, if you love Iowa,
which we do,
or people from Iowa, or any of the food, if any of that sounds good to you, if you've had any of it, or just us or the video, give this video a big thumbs up. It really helps us grow when you do that. That's all we have for today.
That's it, guys.
See you next time. Oh, I should say, if you're from Iowa, hello, welcome. Please do subscribe while you're here. Let us know what you would add to that list.
Yes.
I'd love to hear. Now we can wave.
Bye.
Bye.